When last you guys were here, you were exploring the remains of the lost city of Ythrun, a Netherese city that had crashed into this glacier at the time of the Grand Calamity, knowing that the city contained magical relics and artifacts that would be capable of undoing the never-ending winter through the power of its Mythalar, which was the engine that kept the city afloat, which had the ability to control the weather in some form or fashion. You've been able to weaken the Frostmaiden and have found your way down into the city to seek out the magical secrets that it holds. You've learned that they're likely in the spire of Iorlithus in the center of the city, and in order to get there, you have to complete the ritual of the arcane octad. You've learned that pieces of the ritual are scattered around the city and the towers to the 8 schools of magic. When you were last here, found yourself in the Tower of Evocation. Which I'll take you back to where we were in just a moment. Maybe. That's the other thing. Roll 20. God knows. I like your roll 20, but Lord help us. I don't know if the other VTTs are as bad as roll 20 or they're better. I'm about ready to abandon roll 20.
I think it probably depends on what you're doing. I would wager that because Foundry has integrated more with Paizo, it's better for Paizo. But beyond that, they probably are all about the same.
All right. You guys, along with Veli and Harpel in the Tower of Evocation, found your way there, which was number 20 on my list of places. So let me get back there. I think it was 20. Yes, in the Tower of Evocation, where you had just dealt with 8 gelatinous cubes that were frozen into ice, that as you melted them with the magical brazier, they broke out. In a moment of glory and passion, calling upon your god, Cadillac has been able to revive somehow Paterno's character, who is down on the ground, somewhat confused. You guys are somewhat bloody and battered, and here you are. You find the passage above the tower that has the ice has melted away, and it told you, "Fifth, quench the flame in thy palm with ice," was the passage of the rite of the arcane octad. And that's where you guys are, in this Tower of Evocation. And I guess I should do this thing that I've done for the others. So yeah, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the 8 towers. What are you guys doing now? Everyone's pretty beat up. Let me make sure I'm sharing my audio with you so you guys get the audio scape.
So at the end of the last episode, I believe Leonard fed me a healing potion, but I don't know how many points I got. I just put myself at 1 because I knew I was up.
I
Was it a
did
greater
send you a
healing?
healing potion.
Was it a regular healing potion or a greater healing potion?
Yeah, it's just, well, hang on. Let me see. I think just a regular healing potion. I don't seem to have any greater healing potion.
So you can roll it. It's 2d4 plus 2.
Let's do 2d4. 8 hit points.
Nice. Okay. So you're confused and somewhat paranoid, and somebody standing over you pouring potion down your throat is disturbing to you, Zarya, but you are there.
How's everybody else looking?
Like I'm needing a nap.
Agreed.
Okay. So everybody feels a little bit beat up. Where are you guys going? What are you doing?
Well, this room is now cleared. Perhaps we take a short rest here. Just a short breather.
Yep, the room is cleared. The gelatinous cubes are gone.
I'm good with that.
All right, taking a short rest. You guys are
I think
able
I'll use
to.
a spell slot to cast Prayer of Healing to kind of help everybody.
Okay. You can do that.
Um, so everybody gets 15 hit points on top of whatever else you're doing.
All right. So what's everybody else doing during their rest here? Just using hit points to heal yourself, or anything else?
That is all I'm doing.
Okay. Trying to look through really quickly and make sure I've marked everywhere you guys have been. Yeah. So you have illusion and enchantment left, or the schools of magic that remain. And you're here at this one right here. So you've rolled some hit die, you've got some HP back. The day is getting a bit late, but it's not what you would think of night yet. I don't know how you feel since you've just communed a bit and have reconnected with your god. Maybe that gives Cadillac some peace that he's not been totally abandoned.
I think I feel that this is a complicated place, and I'm still discovering what Sylvanas' will is for me here. And I think I'm sort of meditating on that as I take my short rest.
Okay. You guys have healed up a bit. You feel battered and bruised, but you've been able to heal up a little bit. Maybe slightly worse for the wear after encountering the gelatinous cubes. Maybe you realize there are some very real threats here that could definitely do some very real death to you. Where are you headed? Back out into the city to further explore? Gonna explore here further? Gonna take a long rest now, or what do you think? I guess since we've short rested, probably not a long rest.
The sooner we get
Probably
moving, the sooner we get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you guys are out on the streets. There's you're sort of right out here, and there's some structures sort of around you. Another sort of portion of city here. There's other towers and domes and various buildings and things. You guys are all right here outside of this one. Where are you headed? There's a large tower-like thing to your north immediately. Here. There's like a tower here. Yeah, and then there's a tower to your immediate south here. And then there's all sorts of other buildings and structures and things.
Still being paranoid once we get out on the street. Can I look around and see if there's someone that's waiting for us to come out? I know we were being followed earlier.
Sure, roll perception. Um, 22. Gosh. Yeah, Zarya, you think you see movement in the buildings of the cities, and you're almost certain that you see several sets of eyes watching you. And it strikes you as strange because what you see looks like sort of like one large eye rather than like two beady eyes. So some sort of like large-eyed creature keeping an eye on you.
We also lost track of Xeraphon, right?
Yes. So you see this big beady-eyed thing that's sort of watching you in the distance in some of like the building around the buildings in this sort of area over here.
I think I just look around at the others and go, are you all seeing this, or is it just me?
Just you.
Okay.
Well, you're the only one that's looked, so you're the only one paranoid enough to be looking. And you just caught it with a 20, whatever you rolled.
Okay.
So you could either convince the group you need to go investigate who's following you, or you could stay away from it or them or whatever it is, or you could just keep your eyes peeled. I guess it depends on what Zarya thinks needs to happen.
I think she thinks we need to get moving. So I think I would.
You just get the sense that the city is not as unoccupied as it might seem. And there are critters that seem to be watching you, but they're very good at hiding.
I think I'm just muttering to myself and saying, we're still being watched. Let's go. Kind of situation.
Okay. Which way are you going? To the tower immediately to the north, or the tower immediately to the south, to the buildings nearest you, or somewhere else?
It's not just creepy.
I think tower to the north.
Okay. As you walk up to this structure directly to the north of you, you see a 60-foot tall obelisk of black stone. Its surface is covered with arcane runes, and it seems to project from the ground. There's a thin crack has formed to one side, stretching from the obelisk's base to its middle. That's what you see.
But not a spiral staircase?
No, it's like a large, like Egyptian obelisk, and it's covered with lots of runes, strange arcane runes on them.
Yeah, I'm going to ask some combination of Professor Scott and Velian Harpel to help read it, because I think the way we've been reading most of this stuff is with Xeraphon.
Let me see what Velian. Go ahead and make me an Arcana check, Guinea.
Yep. 24.
Wow. Okay. Before you even ask, like, Professor Scott, what this could be, you can see that the magical runes that are inscribed on the obelisk represent all 8 schools of magic. And you also identify runes relating to chronomancy, which is the art of magically manipulating time.
Huh. But that's not one of the 8 schools.
Doesn't seem to be. It's a school you've never heard. Well, you've maybe only heard of legend of. Like the school of chronomancy is sort of you've never actually. This is the first time you've seen it written anywhere,
Mhm.
other than like you've heard legends of, but like nobody actually practices chronomancy. Like, could they have been practicing chronomancy here? Kind of crazy. It seems to have been damaged in the fall of the city. It's definitely some sort of arcane artifact. Roll me with your 24 Arcana. God. Roll me an intelligence check.
Okay. Hang on. The intelligence is over here.
That's a save, but I'll take it. Doesn't matter. +8 either way. Something about rewinding time.
Okay, but it does appear to, at least as I can tell, incorporate all the schools of magic.
Yes. All the schools of magic and then into chronomancy. And then something about rewinding time.
Okay, so maybe that's how we turn back on the thing.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how we turn back on the thing. I don't know.
Do you tell us that?
Yeah, I'll translate this to everybody. So
Yeah, so what you know is all schools of magic and then something about chronomancy and then something about rewinding time.
How wide is the crack in it?
I don't know. A few inches, I guess. It's not huge.
Just for shits and giggles, can I reach out and cast mending on it?
Sure.
Does it have any effect?
No, it does not mend. Since it is some sort of magical item, not a mundane item, it does not mend. You guys have not played another adventure where these things have appeared, but these obelisks have appeared in other places. Maybe we'll see another one if we play another adventure.
Huh.
But yeah, that's what you see. Clearly some sort of magical item. You don't know how to activate it. Something to do with chronomancy.
Okay, I'm gonna just mark that down.
Okay.
And I guess proceed to, because that was the one we thought like didn't really match.
Yeah,
because it didn't have a rune on it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be a tower of. It doesn't seem to have any entrance in it, like it's a school of magic or anything. It seems different.
Okay, then I guess this one would be the next one.
Sure. Okay, is that where you're going?
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Across the town, or across this portion of the city, and you see an obsidian tower that is shrouded in gossamer mists, soaring before you. Eyes are carved into stonework that appear to fixate on you as you approach the entrance. The spire's highest window emits a purple light. So there are eyes carved into it that focus upon you. Creepy.
Okay, in the schools we are missing, we got evocation.
We're missing illusion and enchantment, I believe.
Okay.
We've done abjuration, divination, necromancy, conjuration, and evocation.
All right. So which one do we think this one is? Oh no.
Mm.
I'm going to check for traps and gelatinous cubes and anything really that seems out of place, different, magical, weird, harmful. I'm not walking into a room full of murderous gelatin.
No
Yeah.
thanks.
There is mist everywhere. That it is thick as you start to approach the tower, and all of the eyes focus upon you, Leonard.
So the divination tower we went to had all the eyes in the fishbowl.
Yes.
Do these look similar to those, or different sorts of eyes?
They look different. Those look like actual eyes, like real eyeballs inside of a fishbowl. These look like carvings of eyes, but they move.
I'm going to ask for help because I don't know. I don't have anything, I don't think, to see through the mist or.
Okay. Yeah. You can't really see through the mist.
Do I have anything to see through the mist? I got. Nope.
You're just gonna have to walk in, I guess.
I'll be happy to scout.
How are you scouting? Are you going in?
If we don't have any other volunteers, I can gingerly go to wander in, if that's
I'll go with him.
Okay.
Fine, I'm with you, fellers.
Well, what I was going to do is cast Sanctuary on myself so that.
Oh, never mind.
Okay, so is Cadillac going in alone?
I'm not going in as the vulnerable one.
So I mean, I can do something interesting here, but I can only have one co-pilot if we're going to do a little side thing to scout.
No, I'll hang back.
Okay, so let's see here then. Harkus, it seems like a lovely day to go exploring, don't you think?
I agree.
And so I'm going to cast Sanctuary on you. And then, ooh, that worked differently. It gave me options. That's not normally what happens. Okay, in any event, and then I am going to expend 1 charge of invisibility from my ring, necklace, brooch, tiara, whatever it was.
Device of invisibility.
That's right. My mechanism of invisibility. And so I say, Harkus, I'll be right beside you, and then I just vanish. And then let's enter the tower and see what we can see.
Okay.
Cadillac, you enter the tower, and as you enter the tower, the mist becomes thick. There are haunting sounds filling the air, heartbeats, sobbing, and ragged, gasping breaths. Outside the door, Leonard and Zarya, you sit and wait for a while. How long do you wait?
I'll give him a good duration of invisibility.
10 minutes have passed.
10 minutes.
No sign of them.
I don't have a good feeling about that.
No telling what
So-
Cadillac's up to.
Still waiting?
I am going to pursue while having my rope of climbing attached to me.
Okay.
And telling Zarya to make sure, I don't know, try not to let me die.
Okay.
Hold
I
me
will
back.
hold on.
Hold
Yeah,
me
I will
back.
hold
You
on.
don't hear something?
You step into the mists, Leonard,
With my
And
rope of climbing
it's-
attached.
with your rope of climbing attached. The air is thick with the mist and full of haunting sounds, heartbeats, sobbing, and rasping, gasping breaths. Zarya, outside, the rope remains taut, but you haven't seen Leonard in a minute. And then all of a sudden, the rope goes limp and just falls limp.
I start
It
pulling
looks-
it to me.
Okay. Let's cut back to Cadillac. Cadillac, what in the world is Cadillac the most afraid of?
Ooh, that's
What
a good
thing?
question.
What thing, creature, being is Cadillac's greatest fear?
A 13-headed dragon.
A multi-headed dragon?
That would be pretty terrifying.
Is that what it
Ul-
is?
Ultra Tiamat.
Yeah. So no, I'm
Mega-
just gonna double down on this. Yeah, I had a dream once of a
is super-
13-headed dragon.
Oh, it's Ultra Mega Tiamat. He's legend. She Ultra Mega Tiamat. She's legend. Yeah. So, Cadillac, you don't see anybody else around you. You thought you saw Harkus, or you thought you knew where Harkus would have been, but alas, no. You don't see any Harkus. And all of a sudden, you see yourself in a chamber standing, and it's dark, and then there's a faint glow. And then before you, out of the back into the chamber, strides a huge dragon with multiple heads, like something out of your absolute nightmares and terror. And it leans down and begins to open its mouth, which fills with flame. One of them begins to fill with acid, and one of them begins to fill with what looks like crackling electricity. And Cadillac, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Okay. There we are.
Cadillac. The dragon opens its mouth and lets out a breath. And you take 18 psychic damage, which feels like fire upon your skin as you have been burned by the flames.
Is that impacted by Sanctuary?
What does the Sanctuary spell do?
He doesn't. He casts.
Yeah, I cast that on
Sanctuary
Harkus.
me, and he's
Yeah.
invisible.
I'm just invisible.
Never mind.
And what does the Sanctuary spell do?
Let's see. Sanctuary. Harkus is warded against attack until the spell ends. Any creature that targets him has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Got it. Harkus, what are you most afraid of?
I think probably skinless cats, given the desire for pelts.
Okay. Large,
Hairless cats.
large, hairless, dripping feline creatures with blood-soaked claws all appear around you. You do not see Cadillac anywhere, but these multiple hairless tigers, all with no pelts to be had. Although you've lost that trait now. You gave it away to the witches.
It's hard to let it go.
They all pounce upon you at once. Roll me a wisdom save. Okay. Arcus, you as the creatures begin to all as they pounce on you, you all of a sudden realize this is not real. This is some illusion. And you manage to shake off the image of these multiple blood-soaked lions attacking you. And as they do, they pounce, and all of a sudden you find yourself in an entirely different place, in a different chamber. And we'll cut to you in a minute. Leonard, what are you most afraid of?
Are we talking fears or phobias?
That's up to you, my man. What is Leonard most afraid of?
I think
This is
obsolescence.
manifesting your greatest fear.
As a robot, I think obsolescence.
Oh, and okay. And Cadillac, by the way, you are frightened. Just so you know, you have the frightened condition.
I'm immune to being frightened.
Okay, well, you're still taking the wisdom damage. You're not frightened by it, but Leonard, then what you see that comes around the corner is a colossal rust monster. It is bearing down upon you to delete your existence, to make you nothing, to wear your mechanics away into dust.
Yeah, I don't love that.
And it reaches out its multiple tentacles to and you can feel your limbs beginning to sort of rust away and rot away as you become nothing. Roll a wisdom save.
Wisdom save. All right. I don't know why that didn't go through. Hang on. Let me roll it again. 17.
17, pretty good. Leonard, you, and as it starts to strike at you, you realize this is illusory. This is not real. This must be the Tower of Illusion. And all of a sudden you blink away and you find yourself in a different place as you've been teleported, and the rope of climbing doesn't come with you as the rusting monsters sort of attack and the rope falls limp. Zarya, cut back to you. You pull on the rope and it pulls out and there is nothing there. It is attached to nothing. No one has come back yet after they've been standing here for a few moments.
Okay.
And
I'll
the
roll
rope
it
that
up,
was
put it
attached
in
to
my
Leonardo
bag, and
is gone.
follow.
You enter the chamber.
I will.
All right. Again, similarly surrounded by mists, horrific sounds and smells, gasping breaths, hard to breathe. And what is Zarya's greatest fear?
Probably disappointing her deceased ancestors. I think just family is important, but more so religion and
Yeah.
where she comes from.
So is there like a particular ancestor warrior that you would know of from your history? Like a legendary chief or something?
Not necessarily. I think it's mostly just like her family that has gone past the Great Divide kind of situation.
You see
So
an image of like what would be your great grandfather, a great chief, before you, and he has a giant frown upon his face, and he bears what looks like a giant, I guess, battle axe or war axe or something, and he looks upon you and he says, "You are weak. You have betrayed us all. You are worth nothing. Better to be dead than here." And he begins to strike his axe down upon you. Make a wisdom save. Yeah, his axe collides with you, and you are extremely frightened of him. You take 24 psychic damage. Cadillac, you're not frightened, but the tremendous dragon is still before you, bearing down flame. Make a wisdom saving throw.
I guess I don't have any time to cast a spell.
Sure.
Okay.
You can cast a spell.
I am very confused, and so I ask for a blessing from Sylvanas.
Oh, nice.
And then let's do the wisdom. And then with bless, that's a D4, which I don't think is going to help me that much.
Okay. Done. You're going to take... I'm going to roll this off screen here. You're going to take 15 points of psychic damage.
How many?
15, 1-5.
Okay.
As the dragon bears down upon you. Zarya, you're down on the ground. You are frightened.
I think she's breathing hard and
Yeah, definitely.
Attempting to divert her eyes and kind of just saying, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry."
You can't willingly move any closer to it. You have disadvantage on ability checks because you're frightened of it, and you can't move any closer to it. But this is a saving throw, not an ability check, so make a wisdom save. And as he begins to bring his axe down, and you're screaming, it occurs to you that he could not be here, that he is dead, that this was long ago, and that this cannot be real. This is some horrific trick of this place. And as you realize that, he just disappears into mist, same mist that surrounded you, and all of a sudden you are teleported and find yourself in sort of a different place. And there you see Arcus and Leonard, both of them on the ground, sort of panting and gasping for air. No Cadillac. Cadillac, you still stand before the great multi-headed dragon, who is, you are certain, is going to be the death of you at the end of you. Make a wisdom save. How long does that bless last for? I think it's up to a minute, so you still have it.
Yep.
Cadillac, you realize on this third time that this is not real. The dragon couldn't possibly be here. And as you realize that, as you make that realization, not being frightened of it, it just vanishes into mist and disappears. And then you find yourself in a chamber with your other friends and companions. I'm not certain how long this has taken, how long you've been under the guise of this illusion spell that has brought your worst of fears before you. And you're in an uppermost chamber of this tower, and it is lit by purple continual flame spells and wall sconces. That explains the purple light from the top of it. And there's a staircase that is heading down out of this chamber, but you seem to have just teleported up to the top. And there's an inscription in Draconic written on the walls, which Zarya can read. And it says, "Sixth, show thy face to the sky."
We'll translate.
Roll perception, Zarya.
$19.
Something's not right. The script just looks a little weird to you. You're translating it, and you can read sixth that says, "Sixth, show thy face to the sky." But there's something off as you're translating it.
Can I reach out and touch it?
It seems to it's flat on the wall, but it's not right. Like, as you run your fingers over it, there's some sort of something here.
I look around and tell the others, this isn't right. Something's off.
Too easy.
I
Maybe it
attempt
just
to
seems too easy.
disbelieve.
What did you say, Leonard?
I said, I attempt to disbelieve. What if the text is an illusion?
Yeah, you get the sense that may be the case. That you're facing another illusion of some sort.
Yeah.
It just seemed too easy to use Zarya. And but there it is. First, sixth, show thy face to the sky.
I don't think I have any illusion seeing.
Were the others carved into the walls, or were they painted on, or
Most
how
of
were
them
they?
Most of them were carved in.
Okay.
This is flat.
Hey, Jeff, I have on this staff of charming.
Yeah.
It allows me to cast comprehend languages using one charge.
Yeah.
And the text of comprehend languages says, you also understand any written language that you see, but you must be touching the surface on which the words are written.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use a charge to comprehend languages, since I don't speak Draconic anyway, and see if touching it gives me a different message than reading it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because, like, in my mind, like, are the runes carved in the same things that I'm reading?
It's like there's two phrases in your brain at once, and you can tell that there's a real phrase underneath this, but it's like you can't make yourself understand it. You get the sense that this is an illusion, that there's an illusion phrase on top of the real phrase, but like it's like trying to read two things at once on top of each other. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'll clue everyone into that.
Like you figured out what's going on, but that doesn't give you the because your eyes are seeing something different and that your touch is sort of sensing. So it's like you can't even read it. So it's like comprehend
Okay.
languages, this illusory thing. Like you touch it, and like your understanding of comprehend languages should be you should be able to read it, but it doesn't make any sense. It's like the whole
Right.
phrasing is just it doesn't make sense.
Okay. Well, I'll clue everybody into sort of what I figured out. That at least it's suspect.
I exclaim, I am tired of these cheap conjurer's tricks. And I place my hand on it and say, illusion be gone.
Okay, that's exactly what you needed. Roll me a spellcasting ability check.
Okay. And let's see here.
This is a fairly high level illusion.
Okay, so what was that again?
Spellcasting, a check using your spellcasting ability.
I cast guidance.
Yeah, you can have guidance.
Okay, so how do I do that on my sheet? We had a conversation about this before, and I never.
Right. So what you're a paladin?
Yeah. So I've got a spell attack modifier, save DC. Like I don't know what to click.
All right, paladin.
Do I do it against wisdom, or?
Let me just make sure I got it right. You use your I was going to say, what is your you use wisdom to cast spells? Is that what you use?
I don't know how to tell.
I just don't remember what paladins use.
Paladins, it's got to be wisdom, right?
If you're just looking for the modifier, if you click on spells on D&D Beyond, at the top of it, it'll tell you what your modifier is.
Okay, yours is
It'll tell you your
charisma. A
attack.
paladin uses charisma.
Oh yeah, which is one of
So
my weaker.
you roll basically. What is your?
Yeah, it's my modifier is +1. So yeah, which is
So
what
you
my
use
charisma is.
charisma at a +1. All right, so you have a D4. So roll a charisma check and add a D4.
I bet that's not going to be enough.
Has anybody else got any other help out here? Anything to grant him advantage or anything like that?
And my bless, even if it was still active, wouldn't help with this. I don't think, right?
Bless gives you advantage on or
Attack
you
rolls and saving throws.
Hang on. I got something. Flash of Genius.
Okay.
Which I'm going to have to Google because it's not coming up. Oh, when you or another creature you can see within 30 feet of you make an ability check or saving throw, I can use my reaction to add +4.
Okay.
So I will gladly add +4.
Okay. Add +4. Wow.
Oh, somebody was not happy about that. So is
Abigail
that
did not like the addition of +4.
is that just raw +4 or a D4?
That is +4.
Okay.
Oh, nice. With +4, that gets you there. It was a 7th level spell, DC 17. With the addition of guidance and your genius ability, you're able to help Cadillac hone his magic, and the illusion is dispelled, and the real passage is revealed behind it that is more carved into the rock, although seemingly flat. And it reads, 6th, hide thyself behind a mask. So yeah, 6th, hide thyself behind a mask. So now you've got multiple parts. Only one school of magic remains. The night it grows long. As you're beginning to become more and more exhausted as another day seemingly has passed. But you've accomplished 7 of the schools now.
Almost.
Almost there. Making your way out of the Tower of Illusion.
Uh-huh.
Make your way out. The mists have parted as you have read the real script and made your way out of the Tower of Illusion. Boy, that would suck if you'd never realized that it was actually an illusory script.
Oh, I'm sure. It's like an insta-fail.
Yeah. They're like, what went wrong? Where did we go wrong? We can't figure it out all the way through.
Hmm.
Where to?
I don't know. So we got one tower left, and I don't know if it's this one, the pipe organ looking thing, the ocarina, or the Trade
Star Wars droid.
Federation battle droid.
Yeah, the Trade Federation battle droid.
But I think I would go for the Trade Federation battle droid.
That's my vote too.
Because the ocarina doesn't seem to have a marking on the top.
Okay. All right.
This is Tower of Enchantment.
That would be what's left.
Okay.
If that's what it is.
If that's what it is.
All right. Is that where you all are headed?
Sounds good.
Yeah, I think so. While we're walking, I'm going to cast another Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay.
These animals. Jesus.
They're great to have around, but they sure are trouble sometimes.
Well, they just don't get along, and I don't understand it.
Cats?
A cat and a corgi.
I am going to go ahead and expend my lay on hands to go ahead and buff myself. And I'm just going to go ahead and deplete the whole kit and caboodle. So that pops me up to 94.
94 HP?
Yes.
Ooh, Cadillac feeling beefy.
That will change.
It usually does. You approach this tower, and ice has engulfed the lower floors of this crumbling tower. A pink light pours out of the highest window, a single point of illumination in a dark and out-of-the-way region of the city. Nothing else seems to surround it. I love this because we get a little reference to one of my favorite all-time movies. Yeah.
So you say it was frozen?
Yep, it's frozen at the bottom. Pink light pouring out of the top. Ice has engulfed the lower floors of this crumbling tower. It's not like the door is totally frozen over. But yeah.
Since I have resilience to cold, I'm going to see if I can take a closer look at what the entrance looks like and just generally investigate.
Okay. In the entrance, you can see as you peer inside of it, the interior walls are covered in pitch, writing in draconic script. Somebody has written it in pitch. Oh, and it seems to be a phrase that is like repeating itself over and over again in draconic. So like tar.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody has like taken tar and like written on the walls of this in this goopy tar.
Is the opening big enough for me to wiggle through?
Yeah.
Okay.
As you wiggle through, the floor is strewn with pitch-covered buckets and mops that are frozen stiff by the cold, and crudely written draconic script is repeating itself over and over again all over the interior walls.
Can I read the?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you going in the tower?
Well, I wanted to read what was on the outside first.
There's nothing written on the outside. This is all the interior walls of the tower. As Cadillac is sort of wiggled inside.
Gotcha. Then I will follow.
Okay. You follow. And to your horror, written in pitch, so in tar, over and over again, on the inside walls of the bottom floor here, it says, "All work and no play make Ivra a dull girl." Like Leonard's reacts, Nope.
I do not like that movie. It does not bring me happy vibes. I do not like being scared. This is no place for it, and Jeff, you should feel bad.
I didn't make this. This is Watsy, baby.
So help me understand just the concept of the School of Enchantment. Like, that's making things that exist stronger, or
like charm spells or enchantment.
Like, would command spells be enchantment?
Potentially. When I think of enchantment, I think about your ability to like beguile people and monsters, like control other people, to control creatures, to enchant them, to charm them. Those sorts of things. Here is the text from the Wizard School of Enchantment. As a member of the School of Enchantment, you have honed your ability to magically entrance and beguile other people and monsters. Some enchanters are peacemakers who bewitch the violent to lay down their arms and charm the cruel into showing mercy. Others are tyrants who magically bind the unwilling into their service. Most enchanters fall somewhere between. You can alter memories, change feelings. They work on your brain.
Okay.
It's actually the most evil school of magic. Far more evil than necromancy.
Yeah, so I've still got my Staff of Charming in my hand.
Yeah, that would be an enchantment magic.
Yeah, as we move into this place.
Yep. Yeah, so you see the crazed draconic script written over and over again. You can't read it, but Zarya can sure tell you what it said. All work and no play make Ivra a dull girl.
There's a staircase. Translate it. Do I recognize the name Ivra?
No.
Okay.
Other than that, it's a name.
All right. I'll translate it.
There's a staircase that is heading upwards.
Yeah, I reckon.
Okay. As you head upwards, on the next floor, there are wine bottles strewn all over the floor, and another draconic phrase seems to be written in the wine and just like strewn all over the walls.
What does it say?
It says, "I am Ivra. Ivra is my name. I am Ivra. Ivra is my name." Over and over and over again.
Okay, Ivor likes to drink.
And the staircase continues on upwards.
Okay.
Lastly, you make it up to a large door, and there appears to be blood over the door. It is strewn and written in blood, and it is also in sort of crudely written draconic script. And I assume you're reading it.
I will.
It says, I mean, I never want to ask because this is enchantment, so this is one of those, are you reading it sort of things.
I mean, I don't know that she knows enough about this to not read it. So,
I mean,
and
I
she's
just
the
want to
only
make,
one
I
in the
just,
party that could. So
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
I think I would read it.
All right. It says, "The crown knows all." And there's a closed door there.
Okay. What else is in the room other than that?
It's just the top of the staircase and a door. There's nothing. Just your top of the staircase, there's a door there with blood written in draconic script over top of the door. Below you is sort of the floor with the wine, an empty floor with the wine bottles everywhere, and the Ivor is my name. My name is Ivor everywhere. And on the bottom floor is pitch with buckets of pitch written with dull girl.
Okay.
And here we have a
I'll
closed
translate
door
for
with
everyone.
blood that says "The crown knows all" written above it.
Okay. I let the dog out, so maybe a moment of peace shall
There
be
you go.
had.
So opening the door.
Sure.
Yeah.
As you open the door, you see an elderly woman sitting rigidly on a black throne, shrouded in ice. She wears a crown of intertwined iron tentacles, and her forehead appears bruised where the band fits tightly against her skull. An inscription decorates the wall behind her. And while y'all are thinking, I'm going to read this description really quick here. Chamber is lit by pink flames that flicker from sconces.
Hmm.
Do they react at all when we open the door?
She does not seem to react at all.
Is she facing us or facing away?
Facing you.
Oh, I'm gonna regret this. But I am going to. Does she have her hands on the crown, or is the crown just on?
The crown is on her head. There is an inscription on the wall behind the throne.
Yeah, Zari is going to have to read that.
Yeah, I'll read it.
It says, "Fourth coax a secret from another." And Draconic.
I'll repeat it aloud.
What was that again?
It
Fourth
says,
coax a secret from another.
Hmm.
I am going to approach. No, I don't even know what we got the message. I don't even know what the point of going up there would be. No,
Yeah,
no.
that's what I was sort of curious about. Is if we think that's what we need, and are we just good to leave now? Because that would seem to be the message.
No, the of the 8 towers now.
roll perception. Leonard.
21.
Leonard, you can see that the woman on the chair, as you're looking at the script and thinking about approaching, you can see that she is breathing very slowly. With a 21, Leonard, you are convinced that she is indeed alive.
Oh, and the crown, it's not a Charlatan crown.
It doesn't look Charlatan. It's iron tentacles that is encasing her forehead tightly.
So the hmm, hmm, hmm. So it's grappled onto her, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating.
Jeff, I'm gonna try to use my staff of charming. I'm gonna use another charge
Okay.
to cast command on the crown.
Okay.
If it is a creature I can see within range,
That's an interesting thought. Is this crown a monster?
succeed on a wisdom saving throw or follow the command release on its next turn.
Oh, that's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. It doesn't work, but it's brilliant. But it's brilliant. The crown is not a creature.
Okay, I
But
saw
that's
the
still
tentacles.
but that's still I mean, that is absolutely brilliant. Take inspiration. You deserve it. In place of that failure and in place of those slots on your staff, you get inspiration.
That's a worthwhile trade.
Is there anything that I can like? The crown is interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get the sense that it is it what I want to ask is, do I get the sense that it's cursed, or is it but I'm not sure how to sort of investigate that.
Roll Arcana or roll Religion.
Let's see. They're both equally dreadful, so we will do religion. Ooh.
Yep, definitely cursed.
Okay, so the crown is cursed. It's not okay.
Definitely cursed. Like
Absolutely.
you're as certain as whatever your god. Who's your god again?
Sylvanas.
You're as sure as Sylvanas' toenails is that this is cursed.
The crown itself is cursed.
This is an evil thing.
Okay, then I point Dusk Crusher at it, and I say in the name of Sylvanas, be purified. And I cast Remove Curse upon the crown.
Interesting. At your touch, all curses affecting one creature or object end. If the object is a cursed magic item, the curse remains, but the spell breaks its owner's attunement to the object so that it can be removed or discarded. Okay. Yeah.
Huh.
So all of a sudden you see the tentacles on her head loosen just a bit as it loosens. And you see her take a little breath.
Can I use Dust Crusher to like lift it and fling it off of her head?
You're gonna have to probably grab it.
I would prefer not to touch it.
How you're gonna try to flick this off with a broomstick?
Yes, that's exactly what I want to do.
I want to flick this off her head with a 10-foot pole. Okay, yeah, I'll grant you that you can do that. Yeah. Does none of you speak Loros, right? Professor Scott does. You do this. You take Dust Crusher, and you flip the crown off of her head. And all of a sudden, her eyes open brightly, and they are completely blue and pale. And she takes a breath, and her voice, and she speaks, and she says something. She says, and then, you remember that scene in Indiana Jones when the guy drinks from the wrong cup and he turns into a skeleton man and then dust? That's what happens to her. After she speaks and the crown falls to the ground, she says something, and then she turns into a skeleton person and then just evaporates into dust before you. It is the creepiest looking thing as she does the full Indiana Jones, like, rapid aging, hair grows out, fingernails get long, turns into a skeleton like in Last Crusade, and then just explodes into a pile of dust. And the crown rolls along the ground at your feet. Professor Scott says, well, she said, destroy the crown. Release my memories. Let me have peace.
So, much like the Ring of Power, can this be destroyed by any craft we here possess? Leonard, what do you?
Yeah, Jeff, what do I think?
You don't know of any way to destroy powerful magical items? I mean, there is a way, but you guys totally didn't go there and ignored that part of the city. But,
Um,
But this is a powerful magical item.
so I have Cone of Cold.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to blast it with Cone of Cold to attempt to encase it in ice.
Okay, you do so. You form a nice brick of ice around it.
And then, since I'm somewhat immune to cold, I guess you know what? I then pick up the big block of ice and then
Okay.
I fling it over Treewad and say, "Here, a pet."
How long will this be before it melts?
Never. We're in a frozen necropolis. It'll be fine.
Okay, I suppose that's true. I'll just put it here in my branches where it will never fall on me. Fair enough. Well, I guess out we go.
I'm not sure if that accomplished anything at all or not.
I mean, I don't know. Roll me
I
I don't know. I'm gonna roll a D100 and see how long it takes to melt.
I guess in a pinch, we could always melt it and throw it at somebody.
There you go. You could toss it to someone. And yeah, she skeletonizes, and there we are.
All right, so I guess we're gonna carry that around with us, faithful that nothing's gonna happen, and then
Oh,
I mean, we don't have to keep it. I don't know. What do we
see how
think?
that works out.
did one of you guys have the curse of like once I have an item, I can't let it go?
Yep, that's why Leonard has not grabbed this, because if he does,
He can't let it go.
he cannot let it go.
You'll turn into that husky woman, the skeleton woman.
Well, we've got all our info.
You've got them all. You have all the pieces. Have you been writing them down? If anybody's been writing them down, you could probably put them in the right order now.
Yeah, so first, shield thy heart with a wand from the nether oak. Second, summon flame in the palm of your hand. Third, a burnt palm loosens the tongue, tell a secret. Fourth, coax a secret from another. Fifth, clench the flame with ice. And then sixth, hide thyself behind a mask. Seventh, trace a circle with the ashes of the dead. Eighth, stand firm in thy death and consume poison.
That's it. You have found all of the parts of the ritual of the Arcane Octet, which is what you need to pass through which is what you would need to pass through the force field that is protecting the central spire of the city. Where are you going now? As we've got about 30 minutes or so left in game time.
So for the first one, shield thy heart with a wand from the nether oak. Like we went to get the wand.
You've made it. Yep, you got the wand from the nether oak.
Going through the others, summon a flame in the palm of your hand. I can't do that, but I assume one of our wizards can. Or our wizard can.
Mm-hmm. Not hard to do to produce flame.
We can shed a secret and coax a secret. Quench a flame in the palm with ice. Hide your face under a mask. Got that. Trace a circle with the ashes of the dead. I don't know where we find the ashes of the dead.
Y'all are pretty good at killing.
And then stand firm in thy circle of death and consume poison. I don't think we have any poison.
You're in a city.
Yeah, but we got to have these things to do it.
True.
Right.
Shouldn't be that hard to find poison somewhere in an entire city.
Just build our shopping list.
So we're pretty close to an outcropping of buildings. We could investigate to see if we can find any. We can see if we can find a grocery store.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even
Poi-
rats, I'm sure. Even mages, I'm sure, had a rat problem and have rat poison somewhere.
Sure.
Yeah. We just need some decon.
That's right.
Okay. You're actually in a very isolated part of the city without much buildings, but there is an outcropping over here. Or over here.
I think this area looks
Yeah,
promising.
looks happening.
That's where I'd put the pest control shops.
Okay. Yeah, as you walk over there are several buildings, several like what look like homes and sort of like shop type buildings. The biggest one is this building over here that you encounter, and it has 4 basalt columns supporting a huge mirrored dome that reflects the tallest spires and the cavern stalactites in its like beautiful mirrored dome on top of it.
Well, I'll look at that one because it's pretty, but I don't think it's going to have poison.
As you look inside of it, the interior of the dome is illuminated by a swirling miasma of colors. There are frozen human figures floating in the air, their legs crossed and serene. But they're definitely dead corpses floating around up there.
Okay, maybe this is where we get some ashes of the dead. I'm going to see if I can coax. Oh, I'm going to use my rope of climbing.
As you enter the room, you find yourself starting to levitate a bit.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to use my rope of climbing to hold myself to the ground
Okay.
and pull a corpse to me.
They all have their hands on their knees and their eyes closed. Just FYI.
Okay, I'm going to pull it outside with me.
All right, so you're not doing that. You're just sort of rope 'em cowboy a corpse and pulling it out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, you sort of float a little bit, but you don't fly like these guys that are just sort of swirling around in this miasma. You rope them up, and it's an old body, preserved by the cold.
Okay.
Mummified, in fact, almost as if it's been floating here forever, since the fall, even. And it is clearly a Netherese apprentice that here was trapped in some sort of meditation chamber or something, floating here.
I am going to proceed to turn it into dust with repetitive castings of Firebolt.
We just went to Corpses R Us. Just picked one off the
Well,
shelf.
it's on the shopping list.
I
And
mean,
you didn't tell me there was poison floating around.
No.
so-
Literally, I didn't make this up. This is literally what is in this chamber. This is not me like Deus Ex Machina, like, let me give you a corpse now. Like, no, this is literally what's here. And you bring it down and you just blast until it turns to ashes.
I have mixed emotions about this, Leonard. I'm just sort of standing back with my mouth open because like because like this is sort of a mausoleum where these mages have sort of, they're very serene and very,
We gotta have enough to make a circle.
Leonard pulls one down with his rope of climbing and just proceeds to start
just
incinerating it.
incinerates it. Yeah.
I just walked over and gave him a high five.
Spice. Cadillac is horrified by this.
A bit.
Leonard is meanwhile just getting to work.
Well, I mean, what's the alternative? It had to be done.
It had to be done. Okay. With a little bit further effort, looking through the city, you are able to find what looks like maybe a shop or a store of some sort with various bottles of arcane-looking liquids stacked around. Some of them black, some of them red, some of them green, some of them yellow, some of them blue.
Okay. I'm looking for Poison.
Well, all the labels have long since sort of fallen by the wayside, so
If we were to take a rest, I could potentially change out some of the things that I kind of brought with me.
it is
Detect it.
It is getting late, and you guys are exhausted.
If we rest here, I could potentially take the spell detect poison and something or another. It's on my spell list.
That would be
If
really
we want to take a long rest.
Yeah, I could go for a long rest right about now.
Okay. Setting up for a long rest.
What's the worst that can happen?
Death Knights.
Death Knights. Well,
Death Knights.
I don't know.
Let me add them.
We got 5 of us now, so
That's right. Let me add them. Where's Death Knights?
You got 4
I
of you.
start swinging around Dust Crusher.
You're still missing a wizard. I don't know where your wizard is. You're missing a wizard and a fighter. You may never get your fighter back. I don't know where she's gone. You may never get the fighter back. But your wizard is here occasionally. All right. Setting watches or anything?
I'll take first watch.
I'll
Okay.
take second.
Okay.
I'll take third.
and I'll
First
take
one.
last as per usual.
First watch uneventful, second watch uneventful, third watch uneventful, fourth watch Leonard. Fourth watch random encounter. Random encounter table. D100. Ooh. That's a 00. See, this is going to be 100. No.
That sounds auspicious.
00 and then 3 would be a 3, I think, rather than 30. Yes. Because this is the tens place, so the tens place is 00. And then 3 makes it 003, basically, right? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I don't like that.
Roll perception. I do. It's fun.
Okay. Perception. Oh, why these rolls aren't.
Ow. You don't notice anything, Leonard.
All right.
Nothing happens. Everything's groovy. It's perfect. Great night.
All right. Going to tell everybody I didn't notice anything.
Laterno, make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Uh-oh.
Ooh. Okay. Future saves, the DC drops by 1d6, so I didn't drop it by 1d6. So the initial DC was 15. This made it DC 11. You still fail the DC 11. That's number 2 fail. Laterna, you're even more paranoid and itchy. And in fact, Laterna, weirdly enough, like, you find it more comfortable to, like, be on all fours. Like, you're kind of, as you're walking around, you kind of, like, want to, like, walk sort of gorilla-like sometimes with, like, your hands on the ground, sort of, you kind of are crawling around as you sort of looking back and forth and looking at your fellow party members. Her behavior is odd as she sort of is, like, even more paranoid about everything around you.
Since this is becoming more obvious, can I tell if this is if I think it's a magical effect or a curse or what exact or a poisoning or what exactly is going on?
Yeah, roll me Arcana or something.
First things first, though. Do we get the long? We got the long rest, right?
You got the long rest.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and compute that. All right, so that resets everything. All right, and what was I rolling again? Arcana?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some sort of bad miasma is affecting her from the environment.
But I can't tell if it's a curse or being poisoned or what.
It's not affecting you, and it's not affecting Leonard, and it's not affecting Harkus. So between the three of you, you could probably figure it out that you're not affected by human diseases, and this seems to be some sort of illness that has befallen her.
Well, okay. So I can tell. Okay, so we figured out that she's diseased somehow.
Yes. Based on that, three of you are not affected, but she is. Or maybe it's just women's disease. Maybe it's her woman time. You're not sure.
I don't think that turns you into a werewolf.
Roll me medicine.
Paranoid werewolf.
Oh no, it turns you into something much worse than a werewolf. Yeah, definitely a disease.
I think I'm on all fours, like looking up at the shelves, and I'm gonna cast detect, ironically, poison and disease.
Yeah,
This-
you light up. You stick it hardcore on yourself. You are definitely diseased. But you do find some vials of poison. The entire air is diseased. Everywhere is diseased. There is disease floating around this entire place. And it's definitely is affecting you.
I think that I just like plop on my back and like try to brush everything off of me, and I'm just like borderline freaking out.
Your skin is becoming sort of scaly where you're sort of trying to brush things off of you, and you can feel sort of like changes in like your skeletal structure almost.
Yeah. Just like, get it off, get it off. What did you do to me? I look over at Cadillac and I just glare. It's like, what did you do? You did this.
Leonard's going to look at Cadillac and be like, what did you do?
Didn't do anything. I swear on Sylvanus's acorns, I didn't do anything.
Would I know? Okay, so yes, I just cast the spell, but also my paranoia. Would I think that this is my paranoia acting up? Or would I think that this is the actual results of the spell?
The spell you just cast?
Yes.
You don't think it's related to the spell you just cast. You think that Cadillac did something to you.
Okay.
Or this, everything's out to get you. This place is out to get you. Your friends, they must be out to get you. Things just You're just paranoid. But you don't think it's your magic. Your magic's fine. It's something else.
Okay.
But the others of you are recognizing that it's this place. Seems to be sort of getting to Zarya.
And I think she's just like, well, go ahead and get it over with. The bottles that you're looking for are up there. It's poison. Just do it. Get it over with.
Yeah, you're able to grab some poisonous bottles.
She's still on all fours.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I am looking through my holy scrolls from my time at the keep to see if there's anything I can do about this.
You tried to restore her once.
Yeah, but I
And
don't
you-
have anything that really works specifically against disease.
Well, I think that Professor Scott and Valian say that all the most powerful things in the city would be in the central spire. If there's an answer, it must be there. Perhaps we can find a cure or a way to restore her before it is too late.
Do any of these potions? Can I get any insight into any of these potions? Would they perhaps cure a disease or something?
Potions can definitely perform.
I mean, we're in a room full of potions.
Yep, none of them are labeled. Do you have identify or anything of the sort? You do have a wizard that is identify, but like you'd have to spend a lot of time identifying each individual one. One at a time.
That's what I was thinking.
Without any guarantee that you find one that will work. And the wizard is who knows where in Charlotte or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I got nothing.
Okay. Are you grabbing some potions randomly?
Yes, I will grab 4 potions randomly.
Okay. Very good then. One moment, and I'll have you roll something. Okay. Roll me a D100, please.
Okay, D1 hundo.
And just tell me the number. 18?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you grab 1 red potion. Seems similar to the potions of healing that you've had before.
Okay.
Roll me another D100.
12.
You find a bigger potion that is similar to that potion of healing, but it is a little brighter and pops a little bit more. And you think maybe this is a greater healing potion. Would be your guess. Roll me a D100.
18 again.
You find an even larger vial of even brighter red liquid. That is the largest vial of like medicinal potionness that you think you've ever found.
All right.
And roll me one last D100.
58.
58. Re-roll that. 58 is not associated with a potion.
83.
One more roll that didn't land on one that holds a potion.
56.
56 does contain a potion. This one is blue.
Blue.
Yeah.
All right.
Looks different than the other red ones that you found.
It's not a red. I got 3 red and 1 not red.
Yep, one that's blue. And it interested you because it sort of is it's a pretty blue.
It's a pretty blue.
It kind of gives off, it feels happy. It's a happy little potion.
Feels like it's a potion of greater restoration, maybe.
You have no idea. That'd be awesome if it was. You pour it down Zarya's throat, and all of a sudden she starts speaking in eagle. Potion of speak with animal.
Love it.
You don't know what it is.
All right.
Blue potion.
Blue potion.
Yep. I'm not that nice that I'm just going to give you what you need immediately.
I know, but there's a chance I could have rolled it.
Yeah, there definitely is a chance you could have rolled it. I just have a potions table online, and they're attached to D100, and some of them. Oh my god.
The irony of all of this is Zarya thinks nothing's wrong, but she has greater restoration.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah, Zarya thinks nothing's wrong. She's paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Leonard, I'm going to give you this. It is not a potion of greater restoration.
Okay. Well,
That's not what it is. But it's something else. You did roll something else.
I'll keep
I
it.
I didn't even know what this was. But you're lucky. All right.
I'll keep it until an appointed time.
All right. I assume you guys are headed back towards that bridge that headed towards the spire then.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's where we will pick you up next week. As you've long rested, Zarya is kind of crawling along the ground in sort of a cat-like pose.
Mechanically speaking, would you say that my speed is halved, or am I
No,
still
same
moving at normal?
You're moving at normal speed. In fact, it's kind of freaky to watch as she sort of like leaps almost animal-like.
I just
around.
keep looking back because it reminds me of those hairless cats.
Yeah. Her facial structure is somewhat changed, and you can see like her back is kind of bony looking, as she seems to be undergoing some sort of metamorphosis of extreme paranoia. Yep. You guys conquered.
Basically, I'm a Goliath-sized golem.
Yeah.
From Lord of the Rings.
You're smaller. You're kind of de-Goliathing a bit as you kind of are losing some stature.
Oh.
It's not creepy at all.
Yeah, you're turning into Gollum, essentially. Yes. Or the D&D version of Gollum. I mean, some of you could potentially... Zarya, you're the only one that has looked around that has seen what you're going to turn into or caught glimpses of it. As they've been around spying you. Nobody else has bothered to look around to see if they could see them.
Mm-mm.
We'll figure that out next week. When you guys have finally made it to the Spire. I think that we're only a few sessions from finale here, y'all.
I heard that 8 sessions ago, Jeff.
Well, I didn't know that you were gonna get whipped by like cubes.
Oh
Well,
man.
In our defense, we've been at about half power for 2 months. So
You have. You've been sort of half powered. Everybody has leveled up.
woohoo!
You've gained another level.
You aren't here.
Maybe with this level up, I will discover some spell that could do something about disease. I was looking through my codex of possible spells, and there's nothing even in my repository that could possibly be turned to effect of disease, which is fascinating to me. So hopefully the level up will fix that.
I now have aspect of the worm.
Ooh.
What?
Because it's a so
What level does this make you guys? Are y'all level 10 now?
11.
11.
I did a draconic disciple at 3rd level, and so this does the power of your draconic spirit now radiates from you, warding your allies or inspiring fear in your enemies. As a bonus action, you can create an aura of draconic power that radiates 10 feet from you for 1 minute.
Nice.
Sweet action.
Nice. Well, it's time to go face some Death Knights, I think.
Okay.
We'll see what happens at your next session as you head back towards the spire, having gained all of the pieces of the ritual.
Sounds perfect.
Nice.
All right, till next time.